All right, so I guess just about 2 o'clock, just about 2 o'clock now. There we go. Okay, we can get started. Welcome to this NINZA course presentation of VWAP Flux. If you use VWAP for your trading decisions, you're going to find this one interesting. First of all, my name is James Buchman. If you've never seen me before, I'm somewhere here. Here I am. Um, I'm a retired New York City Department of Education school principal, been trading for about 18 years plus now. I have my own Discord group. I have my own trading room where I trade my where I share my trading plan with my group every morning. And yes, we actually trade using a plan. Crazy, right? Who does that? So, for example, this morning we look to be short S&P below 68.70, targeting 68.36, followed by 23, followed by '07. In a Nasdaq, we were short below 790, targeting 706.20. So that's what I do every day. Come and visit and join my group. Any case, let's get to VWAP Flux. Let me just get my chat box ready. So I will take questions, but first let me do my spiel. Okay, we're going to take a look at some charts from today, and let's talk about VWAP. So, does anyone here use VWAP to make trading decisions? Why? No, I'm just kidding. VWAP is a legitimate tool, and it's of course there is a free version, but we're going to talk about that. The problem with the regular VWAP, if I can kind of start scrolling here, the problem with a regular VWAP is that it is static. Now, what I mean by that is obviously it's moving, but it's anchored to one time frame. Maybe it's best if you can actually see it. Let me see if I can find my chart. Let me see if I can find my chart here. Hold on. Let me kind of share. Okay. So, hold on. No, that's not it. Where is it? There we go. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. Yep. All right. So this is a regular free VWAP that is available free on any platform, NinjaTrader, not excluded. Of course, it's available on NinjaTrader. So what is the problem with the regular VWAP? The main issue here is that it does not reflect current market conditions. It is stuck. It is, in other words, anchored to one time frame. And from there, it develops. The problem is what? The problem is markets are not static, right? Price evolves, market conditions change, support resistance levels are broken, which leads to price completions, which leads to reactions. So I don't know if you know this, I don't know how many of you know this, but where does this VWAP start? Like, do you know where it starts? If we just go back, it depends on the session that you have. But it starts, if you have a regular instrument settings, when Globex opens. This is where it starts. Well, of course, the issue is by the time it's 9:30, very often it is almost irrelevant, right? For example, let me ask you this. So there was a move down, right? There was a move down this morning. Now, be honest and don't just say because you're seeing what happened next. How many of you would consider buying this? Right? There was really no, if you're looking at this and you're being honest, there was really no reason to buy this, right? But hold on. Let me find my other chart. And we will get through the slideshow, I promise. I just like charts. That's my thing. So let me find it. Let me find it. Found it. Okay. So this is VWAP Flux, and we will be taking a look at it like in more detail soon. The difference with VWAP Flux is that it is not anchored in one time frame. It will change, and it's user-defined settings. You define the period of time that you wanted to update the VWAP. So the default is 20 minutes, I believe. So I have it on default. I did not change anything here. This is default out of the box as is. However, you could change that. You can change it to 5 minutes. You can change it to 1 hour. The point is, you are not stuck in a session starting time as your starting point, then will continue with you throughout the session. Now, when you look at VWAP Flux, and I hope you can see it, it is a bit small, but as price develops, as price evolves, as market starts to achieve certain targets, it identifies areas of support and resistance along with new point of control and volume delta. And here, it already begins to give a hint that this could be the bottom and we could be buying over here. Still against the trend, but the trend is still down. I mean, this is a heck of a sell-off. However, you already begin to see that perhaps, no confirmation yet, right? Again, in real time, not after the fact, in real time, no confirmation yet, but there are hints that some buying here is coming in. Sure enough, we go bullish. And look at how quickly, compared to the other chart we looked at, look at how quickly VWAP Flux responds to the idea that we are now buying. We are now going higher. So this is, to me, when I first saw this, and I am familiar with VWAP. I mean, I don't trade it myself, but I am familiar with, basic idea of a VWAP. This immediately struck me as unique. This is a huge upgrade to the regular, traditional VWAP that's available on every platform. It has signals, but to me, signals are fine. To me, it's not so much the signals. Uh, it's instead it's the story that is created with this formation, right? Big sell-off, and sure enough, I mean, VWAP Flux is completely. We have kind of a pinkish line. This is bearish. We have a falling, this kind of shaded area. So it looks bearish. It is bearish. We even have a signal. So we have everything that will bring it down. And it goes through some support areas. It goes right through them with some bounces. I mean, if you wanted to scalp, I mean, I'm not necessarily big on scalping, but if you wanted to scalp, yeah, I mean, scalps are available from these identified areas ahead of time, right? So this is not after the fact. You know about this as price is coming down. And eventually, here is the story that I'm reading. Unlike, let's say, this, right? When price just breaks through and keeps going, here price stops, right? And bounces. Okay. Comes again and it looks like, okay, this time it's going to break it, but no, it doesn't. Bounces again. Tries for the third time. Again. And this zone, you knew about it ahead of time. And now comes the bounce, and now we go bullish. So that is the major difference between the traditional VWAP and VWAP Flux. If you are a VWAP trader, you would definitely appreciate this. This takes your regular VWAP indicator and just really makes it a lot more sophisticated and much more important than just sophisticated. It updates in real time. Because, as you know, especially if you're a day trader, what happened 5 hours ago might be completely irrelevant to what's going on right now. And this indicator updates continuously. You decide how often you want it to update. Now, for example, I mean, let's go crazy. Let's have some fun. Let's say let's say, so I think the default is 20 minutes. So yeah. So let's make it 5 minutes. How about this? 5 minutes. That's really, 5 minutes. So it becomes a lot more flexible. That's probably just good for scalping, right? It's really kind of responds very, very quickly. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying you can decide what you like better, depending on your goals, depending on your trading style. All of these perimeters are customizable. So let's make the anchor 20 again. You can make it 60 minutes, right? So you decide all these parameters to reflect your trading goals. Okay, so that's kind of a quick peek. Now, by the way, look what happens later, right? So we have this move up, right? What happens later? I don't know. Again, I hope you can see this, but this line, this VWAP line, goes bearish. Look how quickly it responds, right? From bullish to bearish, and sure enough, we go down. Now, so this just happened. There was a short signal, which is fine. Short signal is fine. I'm interested in this. Once again, there is a support area. What this indicator is telling us, okay, so right now we are bearish for sure. However, there is some buying coming in. This is an area where there are more buyers than sellers. And it already gives you a heads up to maybe you don't want to go long immediately, but at least you should question if you still want to be short. This is in, incredibly powerful. I mean, and definitely if you use VWAP to make decisions, again, this would just help you so much. I would not be surprised if now all of a sudden it's going to go bullish. Soon enough, it's still pink, so it's still bearish. But however, right here you knew we could be switching direction again. By the way, where would it go? Where would it go if it continues to be bullish? If I had to I hate to use the word guess. If I had to make an educated um, prediction, maybe this here. This is what I would expect here. Okay. All right. Now let's let's get back to the. I didn't even do any of the slides. I was just excited. I like charts, so let me let me hold on. Go back to the slideshow. Okay. Okay, so obviously it again depends on the parameters you put in. This could be used for scalping. This could be used for swing trading. This could be used for position trading, although position trading is not really for day traders much, but it could be used for more than just scalping trades. So we spoke about this, but it's really worth kind of saying again. Um, it is dynamic. It would change with price action. You are not stuck in one time frame. And having, because the way VWAP, the regular VWAP calculates, right? It's from the beginning of the session. But again, what happened in the beginning of the session might be for day traders already irrelevant an hour after the session opens. So, so you want something that is dynamic, not something that is static. Okay, so in this example here, this one updates every 30 minutes. I think the one I showed you was 20 minutes. And again, it would depend on what is it that you are looking for. I don't think, there is any kind of a magical time frame here. It all depends. If you're looking for bigger moves, you might want to try, a larger recalculating time, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. If you're more into scalping, kind of a quick, 5, 6, 7 points, 20 ticks, whatever, maybe even a 5 to 10 minutes is enough. The support and resistance, we showed that on the charts. And these are based on the VWAP band. So this one is like 5 layers. VWAP Flux has 5 layers of this previous VWAP areas that, of course, could still be relevant. These are the 5 layers I was talking about. So now these, I don't know, clouds or bands or shades, I'm not sure exactly, how they would refer to them. This tells you simply, are we in a bullish situation or are we in a bearish situation, right? So obviously price is above the blue or above the line, right? That's bullish. Everything here on this chart here is bullish. Any kind of a pullback, obviously, is just an opportunity to buy. Yeah, so these are just the different bands. They're based on prior VWAP values. So we spoke about this. It identifies the trend. As far as the signal, for the signal, it would wait for a pullback. So yes, average price relative to the fair value, current price position relative to the VWAP bands, identifies uptrend or downtrend. And that's something that's important. So, um, based on cumulative delta, with a negative cumulative delta, obviously you are in a downtrend, but it would let you know if this downtrend is weakening or possibly even reversing here. Now, we saw an actual example of that on a chart that we looked at, right? So even though, yes, we are still bearish, but there are already hints that possibly a reversal is coming, or at least a pause in the selling. So you would obviously not necessarily want to take a short there. It has trading signals. Again, for me, the signals are secondary. The signals are fine. To me, it is secondary to just the story that it tells. The entries are pullback entries. We will take a look at some more entries in a couple of minutes. I like the pullbacks. Basically, it looks for a pullback into the bands toward the central line, and then and then reversing for a long signal. Okay, so yeah, it looks for impulses, bearish or bullish, for the signals. Maybe we'll take a look at some live charts again. Obviously, point of control levels, former VWAP levels that could still be relevant. It is compatible with Captain Optimus. So it is compatible with Captain Optimus. I don't have it on my chart, I guess, because I'm on a 1 minute chart. But if you use it on very small charts, like Renko charts, range charts, you might want to use the help of Captain Optimus to enter trades. If you're not familiar, Captain Optimus is software that would automatically take the signals that VWAP Flux generates, the buy and sell signals. Those of you who are more creative, you can actually also use the Infinity Algo engines to create strategies. Now, that's a lot more sophisticated, definitely above my pay grade, but you can actually create strategies using VWAP Flux. This is very sophisticated, can do a lot. In any case, let's take a look at some charts maybe. So we looked what? We looked at the YM, right? We looked at the YM. So let me switch back here. Sorry, sorry. Okay, so just make sure. Okay. So yeah, so remember this is the YM. I was just commenting on this. Remember that this looks like there was buying coming in. Now we are bullish. And as I said, they're probably going to be targeting this. Now, is it because I'm some kind of genius? No. This is because I'm just following what VWAP Flux is telling me. This is the story I'm talking about. So there was no official signal, right? When you look at this, there was no official signal. But still, it is very easy to look at this. It's very easy on the eye. It's very self-explanatory, and you can see buying coming in. We will go bullish. Where can we go? At the very least, probably over here. Okay, so that's this is the YM. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq, right? I think most people like the Nasdaq, so let's take a look. Very similar, actually. Very similar to the YM. So same exact thing, very similar to the YM actually. So sell off at first, coming here, and you see. Um, so that's why even though there are sell signals here, once I see something like this, I get a bit apprehensive with the selling because the story here is that what? Well, there is some buying coming in here. Um, and of course, then it goes bullish. We have a long signal, goes into resistance, right? Resistance coming down again toward the support area. Here is another long signal which again goes into resistance, finally selling off, and we go bearish over here, right? We go bearish over here, right into a support area which bounces, but the trend now is still bearish. We can see that. The trend is still bearish. How would you handle that? Well, the way you would handle it, if you are short, and you could be short, definitely when they're coming in here, you are careful, right? Because you know this is a support area. And again, I don't know if you can see this, but here it tells you point of control and the VWAP. So, you are careful. Then there is an actual short signal over here coming into a support area. Buying is identified. And there we go. So just like with the YM, very similar. This is the target. This here is the target. And if you recall, I said this was the target when price was just breaking through here. Again, not because I'm some kind of genius. I can just read what this does. And there you go. So this is a 1 minute chart. You want to try something small. You want to try like a range chart. Um, let's try a range. What kind of range? 30 ticks? I don't know. I'm just 30 tick range. 30 tick range. Here is this buying I was talking about. So again, same kind of an area. Here is the buying. Here is the buying that then goes bullish and targets. So first this doesn't stop them. This doesn't stop them. They're gonna hit this. Beyond this, we have this. So obviously, the smaller the time frame, the more levels you're going to have. Makes sense, right? So the smaller time frames are probably good for really quick scalps. Um, if you want something more, probably something like a 1 minute chart is a bit more appropriate. Okay, let me see if there are any comments now before I go on. Let's see. You want ninzarenko. What size ninzarenko would you like? 8.4. Okay. Wow, that's tiny. 8.4. Okay. Okay, 8.4. 8.4. That's that's tiny. Ninzarenko. 8.4. All right. Whoa. Okay, so that that is small. That is small. So let's kind of go back. Yeah, this definitely would be. I would not be able to trade this, but fine. I know. Uh, Different strokes for different folks, right? Okay, so breaking through. Here comes the buying. That turns bullish, right? This now turns bullish. We're breaking through a whole bunch of resistance areas. Here is another support area. Yeah, this is really small though. Here was more buying, hitting resistance. So here and here we hit resistance, and now selling off from this resistance area. And now this is real time, breaking, creating new support right here, so we can watch it. Again, this is very small. Me personally, I would not be able to trade this, but maybe some of you can. Um, can they be buying here? Yeah, yeah. So now let's see if this holds. With an 8.4, what kind of it would have to be scalping. I mean, I don't know, 5 points, 7, 10 points. I don't know. Um, it's doable. It's doable, but everything happens too fast for my taste. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. For some reason, I don't know why my chat box looks weird. Okay. 3 minute anchor. Okay. Let's, you guys know best. So 3 minute anchor. Let's try 3 minute anchor. 3 minutes. Okay. So this is a 3 minute anchor. All right. So begin to be bearish here, right? Begin to be bearish here. Staying bearish. Bounces, but very tiny bounces from support areas. It was not a support area. We have a sell signal. Uh, I guess if you are selling, you still got to respect this because they might stay away from this now. Yeah, okay. All right. So I guess the smaller the time frame, the shorter the anchor time should be. That's what it sounds like to me. You guys are great. Appreciate that. Thank you for that info. Try a 24 or a 32.8. Okay, Barry. Since you helped me earlier, I'm gonna. Okay, 24, I think you said. 24. So this is the 24, right? First bullish, right? Bullish, turning bearish, breaking through support. Yeah. again, to me, and obviously it's a very personal thing. Uh, Me, I would like this kind of an indicator to tell me slightly bigger picture, like what's going on, bigger picture in the market. Now, and that's just again just a personal preference. There is nothing wrong with ninZaFamily, especially maybe if you're looking for entries, um, the ninZaFamily could be good when it comes to entries. I always like to know bigger picture what the market is doing when I make my trading decisions, when I work on my trading plan before the session opens. I always kind of like to know what is the bigger picture. But for entries, there is nothing wrong with an ninZaFamily. Let me scroll up. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I did that. I did that. Oh, Michael, hi. Yes, it is compatible with Captain Optimus and Infinity Algo. So what what Captain Optimus would do is it would just take these signals for you. Especially with a ninZaFamily, things happen too fast. I mean, let's face it, things would happen too fast, uh, difficult to catch it manually. So Captain Optimus can definitely be helpful. Let's see, can we auto? Yes, you can. With Captain Optimus, you can automate these signals. With Captain Optimus, you can build a strategy around this indicator using infinity algos. Okay, let me keep going. Yes, I used to use, again, it depends what indicator it is. Yeah, I mean, again, you can use ninjatrader, you can use King Renko. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that to me, when it comes to something like a VWAP, something that evaluates volume, I like to look at slightly bigger time frame, um, just so I can really understand what is happening. This is so small and things happen so fast. I wouldn't know exactly what to do with this. But again, that's just me. If you take this short, you're a very happy guy or gal. It's not. No, you're a very happy trader. How about that? So, um, yeah. And of course, well, Michael here knows, right? Michael is part of my group. He knows that below 790, he's selling anyway, right? Yeah, you know that. Below 790 today, we are selling. We are selling, targeting 700 and 620. So there you go. All right, let's get back to, hold on, let me see if there's one more. Okay. 200 volume. Interesting. 200 volume. Let's try 200 volume. 200 volume. Volume. 200. Now I'm not sure if I need to change the anchor for that or not. Maybe someone can give me a hint with that if you have any suggestions. 200 volume. Not bad. Not bad. 200 volume. Definitely not bad at all. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. All right. The person who said 200 volume, you win. You're a good choice there. I use ES King Renko 8.2. 4 and 24, 6 for. Oh, so you actually use it. Okay, so for the ES you use 8.2 for order placement. Okay. And you use 12.4 and 24.6. for the kind of a bigger time frame. All right, interesting. I tell you, I do. Do you see how this happened in real time? And you saw this in real time now, right? This is not kind of looking back. This is extremely valuable. I mean, everything else aside, yes, there is a trend and you can participate in the short, but when this comes up, this is in real time identification. Not necessarily there was a reversal in trend because you need a confirmation for that, but that at least you should be really careful with with new shorts, or if you're holding a short, maybe it's time to get out, or at least cover a portion of your position, right? So so we have from here testing the VWAP now, which is interesting. I tell you, I like the 200 volume. It's just me. See, we it's just a preference thing, but yeah. Okay. Let's see kind of the previous. So what happened before? Um, yeah, here it is again. Here it is again. Here it is again. You see that? A little bit here. Yeah, no, pretty solid the 200 volume. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Let's get back again to the slideshow. Hold on. Okay, so there is a $200 voucher, and you have to contact NINZA support with Flux in it. So, yeah, I would definitely say whoever uses uh, smaller time frame like the Ninja Renko. I'm not sure about the S&P. I mean, the S&P, but even the S&P, I think you said 8.2. Yeah, I would, if you use that for entries, I think I would still recommend some automation. Just kind of make it easier. If you're more like me and you like larger time frames, you probably are okay with just the indicator itself here. So, well, we know about all the benefits, and to me, probably the biggest benefit really is that it is dynamic. It moves with price. It responds to real-time market conditions. That is to me is the biggest benefit of VWAP Flux versus the regular ordinary VWAP. So here they suggest settings, so you can look at all. You can take a screenshot. So, but again, it looks like the anchor time would depend on um, the chart, the time frame you are using on the chart, right? I think someone told me 3 minutes when it's for a small ninzarenko bar. This is for the 1 minute. So that's what I used. I used the 1 minute. Um, that's where you got it from. So you cheated. You cheated. Okay. All right. 3 minute chart is 60 minutes. 5 minute chart, 120 minutes. 1000 volume is 30 minutes. So that's close enough with 20 minutes that I had on the 200 volume. King Ranko. Yeah, you cheated. This is this. This is where you got it from. Okay. Okay. Let's see if there are any more questions. What's the win rate? Um, that would depends on your ATM. Win rate, it's I can't answer that. I literally cannot answer that because it would depend what you are looking for, right? Um, are you looking for, let's say, 20 ticks, or are you looking for 1,000 ticks? What is it that you are looking for? There was no way for me to answer that. First of all, without backtesting, obviously. Um, but more importantly, it would depend on your goals. So 20 ticks, okay, on what time frame? I'm not trying to be obnoxious, but I can't answer win rate like that. You would actually have to, I guess, sit down, or I know some of you are very sophisticated. You know how to back test a strategy. I'm not that sophisticated. Um, uh, Win rate, because win rates could be deceiving, right? What if when you win, you make 20 ticks, but if you lose 80 ticks, for example, right? Then a win rate of 70% is not good, right? So it's difficult to answer like that. But again, if I hold on, let me see if I can share this again. But I mean, for example, again, going back to the 200 tick chart, which I really like, 200 tick chart. If you took a, so here's bearish. If you took a short here, are you considered this? Obviously, this is more than 20 ticks, right? So I mean, and if you go long here, well, this is more than 20 ticks. And if you go short here, well, this is more than 20 ticks. So it's not like I'm avoiding your question. I really need to know what the parameters are to figure out, not the winning rate is one thing, but if the winning rate still means that you are profitable, because again, you could have a very high winning rate and still be negative for the day. That's a definite possibility. You know, if you, for example, if you're a counter trend trader, right, and you try a long because it looks like there was buying coming in, depending on what you were looking for, there was more than 20 ticks. Even from here again, it's more than 20 ticks. But how much are you risking and so on. So yeah, that's a difficult question to answer. And a great topic, by the way. I mean, great topic because it comes up a lot. What is the winning rate? Um, and no disrespect. I just think it's almost the wrong question to ask. Um, the right question to maybe ask is, how can I trade this profitably? And now you're getting into a whole thing. But I believe it's the better question. Okay, can you add traditional VWAP to the chart to show the difference? Going to be messy. That's what you want. Okay. 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 All right. Okay, so traditional VWAP. Order flow VWAP. Boom. Okay. So, yeah. So if you see this is the traditional. It's messy. This is the traditional. It's static. It's almost pointless. You know? It's just like this is a lot clearer because this follows the price. It constantly adjusts itself to current market conditions. You really can compare the two. Um, there is a reason why one is free and one is not. Okay, um, it's this to me is a lot clearer. Using your regular VWAP, do you suspect this area at all? using the regular VWAP? No, no, there was nothing here. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's see. Can you please demonstrate how to use VWAP Flux plus quantum value? I can't. uh, Kush, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with the other indicator you mentioned. Um, I can just tell you this. Now, this is my opinion. First of all, let me get rid of this. This gives me a headache. I can't even look at this. This is, uh, let me get rid of this. Yeah, this is a lot better. I'm not sure you need any confluence with this. This pretty much has everything. It has your support resistance. It has, if there are more buyers or sellers, kind of a cumulative delta kind of deal. It has point of control. I mean, it has trend up and down. I'm not sure if you wanna, more is not better, right? Can we agree that more is not better? Um, yeah, I'm not familiar with the indicator you mentioned. I think I have it, but I'm not sure. Um, but I don't know if this needs anything, right? Okay. Let's see if there are any more questions. Can you check it with ES? What time frame, Basil? Time frame? I can put ES. I just don't know if 200 volume is what you want. 5 minute. Okay. 5 minute. So for 5 minutes, I'm trying to remember what the presentation said. For 5 minutes, do I need like 30? What is my anchor? Anyone remembers the anchor for the 5 minute? Because this definitely looks a bit messy. 30. Okay. 30. So let's go to anchor. Uh, and 30. Okay. Definitely bearish, right? It stayed bearish for the whole sell-off, and here it identifies the buying, right? So let's make this a little bigger. Here it identifies the buying. And again, just because it identifies the buying doesn't mean that you necessarily want to switch and go long. I mean, after the fact, it's very obvious, of course, but I'm talking like real time, trying to be realistic, right? You're not necessarily just going to go long unless you have a reason to, um, you know, and then it just goes long. The actual signal is here. Again, for me, the actual signal is secondary. Um, just kind of trying to see what is going on. Goes bearish again, right into a buying area. We have a point of control there. It analyzes everything for you, and I know it's kind of small. I don't know if you can see this, but this analyzes everything for you. You might suspect a move again up toward the VWAP, hits resistance. I mean, to the tick almost. Come on, to the tick almost, and sells off from here. So again, to me, this is the real value here, which is why I prefer the higher time frame, although 5 minutes might be a bit too much for me. But still, even the 5 minutes is still okay. Uh, Maybe not for entries, but at least to understand what is happening, right? So as prices coming into here, and you may be a bit more aggressive, you might want to look at a smaller time frame to actually give you an entry. So maybe something um, like a NINZA. I think someone said 8-2, for example, to see if there was any kind of buying that's possible here. Okay. Okay, now let's get back to the slideshow again. Uh, yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. So we went this all the suggested. Uh, t- okay. Well. Okay. So we've seen the live performance once again. This is the offer. And if you have the creativity and and the head for creating strategies, I did a presentation on this before. Infinity Algo. I mean, really, you can create if you I mean strategies around the syndicate that I'm sure could be pretty amazing if you're into. This is like coding if you're not a coder type of deal. Okay. All right, let's see. Anything else? I think this is it. Yeah, this is the last slideshow. So, any questions? Let's see. Let's see if there are any questions. What those numbers mean? Do you mean the point of control and the buy sell? Let's take a look at the chart again. Let me find it. So this is the point of control. Again, it's dynamic. It's going to be moving. It has the VWAP price over here. This is more of a just volume analysis. So 131,000 contracts, 69, I'm sorry, 66,000 are I know are buying, 65,000 are selling. So it just gives you a breakdown of the price. And then visually it represents this for you. Let's see, Michael, do you think this would be useful with my trading style? Um, that's a tough question. Me personally, of course, in my own trading, I don't use any indicators. Now, Michael, you are part of my group, so you know what I use. I use levels that I share ahead of time. To me, it's all about markets' needs to accomplish certain prices. That's that's what my trading plan is all about. Um, Now, the better question is, could you use it? Probably on a smaller time frame, not the 5 minutes. Could you use it as a confirmation, for example, for the trading plan that I share in my room? I think the answer is yes. Um, but you would need to spend some time to do some real-time testing. Notice I don't say back testing, real time. It has to be real time. Um, because it's very easy to look back, and say, "Oh yeah, I would have done this and I would have done that," and that's a little. Um, Only real-time testing would really let you know if you can use this indicator or any indicator. with my levels, right? Because you knew, for example, in S&P below 68.70 today, we were looking short from 9 a.m., right? And look at this here, 68.70 tested and failed to the tick, right? So could you have used this? I guess you could have because you saw we were going into resistance and then we have a nice bar down. Could you have taken a short? Maybe. Again, it's very difficult after the fact because then you create a bias. Well, yeah, sure, of course I would have, right? But yeah, I would say you would have to test it in real time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so again, uh, I'm not saying you're wrong, Michael. I'm just saying the only way you would really find out is to do this in real time because again, just the way our brain works, right? We want things to line up a certain way. So you kind of look back and you say, oh, yeah, look, this happened. But would you be able to identify it in real time? That's the trick. Let's see. Um, is it picking out high volume? It is picking up, um, I guess, volume delta. It is picking up numbers of buyers versus numbers of sellers. And that's how it begins to identify these areas. Okay, I do think it does that. Again, for a more precise answer, maybe ask someone at NINZA. I am not, I am not the coder for this. I'm not. To me, it seems that it is analyzing volume. So, yeah. So in that sense, I think that's what it does. A momentum push. Good question. I'm not sure if actual momentum is part of this, but definitely um, that's something you can see in real time because I showed it in real time earlier in this presentation on a smaller time frame. You start seeing this kind of a support area and price starts to leave. So even though it's not, I guess, maybe officially a momentum, um, you just you just know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be coming here, right? So maybe not momentum per se, at least not that I see, but um, just kind of working with this a little bit and some experience, and you know that, um, right? Because price always tries to do what? What does price always try to do? Price tries to find balance. That's what it does. It looks for balance. It's the never ending futile attempt at finding balance. There is never a balance. Otherwise, price would just stop. Price never stops. So, but it constantly is looking for this balance. And so, if there are more buyers than sellers, it will push higher to try and find that balance. I think I'm answering a completely different question, so I'm just going to stop. Boy, don't get me start going on this stuff. Okay. Um, let's see. I offer here Captain Optimus Strong with VWAP. Oh, I thought I did show it. I didn't show it. Hold on. Yeah, I think I showed it. Let's. Yeah, so this is a package over here. Right, so this is just VWAP by itself. This is VWAP with Captain Optimus, which is really a great price. And this is all three, right? No, this is VWAP with Infinity Algo. Okay, yeah, sorry. This is VWAP with Infinity Algo. So I guess they don't have one. Well, I guess you would not need both. unless I'm wrong. Um, yeah. So this is the offer. Can I share this PDF? I have no problem sharing the PDF. However, it's not mine. It belongs to NINZA. So if you email their support and they want to give it to you, by all means, I have no issue with that. I'm just not sure if I'm allowed. So just please contact NINZA support. And if it's okay with them, they will send you one. Okay. All right. Okay, so this looks like it. Well, thank you for giving me just about 1 hour of your time, exactly 1 hour of your time. You could have been anywhere, but instead you chose to be here with me, and I do appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I will see you in the next presentation. Thank you all.